Hello, Sam from Sound on Sound magazine here. We're at Superbooth in Berlin. I'm with Aditya from Animal Factory.
Hi, Sam.
Great to see you.
Thank you for
It's
stopping by.
been a
Great to
few
see you too.
years,
Yeah, it has.
and you're back with a whole new range of stuff.
Yeah,
You've got an entire pedal board full of new pedals and a little mini synth here.
that's right.
So
Yeah,
you've been busy.
we have been busy. Yeah, you read my mind. We've been pretty. Like I think Corona gave us a little time to reflect as well between part shortages and supply chain issues about how we would approach things in the future, especially being a brand from India, doing pedals and modules for like the world at this point. So we said like if we get out of this and survive, then we should be out of this difficult period with a more defining identity. So I've also had the luck to work with a couple of really like apart from my fantastic team with 3 people now, but all very efficient and a great industrial designer named Ronak and a musician and programmer named Sean Joy, goes by Filter Soup, who designed oscillators for our new synthesizer. And this wasn't like we finished it 24 hours before Superbooth. We were soldering in the hotel room, but it's been something that started well before COVID and just got held up. So I'm really happy to be here and show these things to you now.
Well, we'll come to the synth in a minute. Let's talk a little about the pedals first,
Yep.
because you already had a range of pedals, but this is a
Yes.
sort of reinvention, really.
Yeah, I think we did the first range of pedals in 2017. I think between 2014 and 2017 were version 1. Between 2018 and 2020 we had version 2, and then we had a big break. I said, okay, the next one it has to be version 3, and then like if it's an old pedal that we're doing again, it's got to be they have to be definitive editions. I don't want to be one of those companies that just keeps updating things, and we definitely don't want to be one of those companies who just clones things. I'm not going to say who, but we all know who it is. So we said, okay, let's spend some time kind of working on our circuits. So our classic range of pedals now has a new form factor that uh, looks like this because we wanted to also design something that was very ergonomic. So you've got like this little 5-degree angle out here. Makes it really nice for desktop use because a lot of our users are desktop users. But there's all the fun things you can do with it, like build synths into it, or put 2 back to back and make collaborative or things that just like connect to each other in some sense, yeah. And that was the big one. This is actually the production proof cast from metal. I don't know if you can hold it if you like.
Chunky.
Yeah. And this is the smaller one. Like this one's a little more compact. Our older pedals will fit in them. We have new versions of the first one that got us started, the Chemical Burn. The one that made us, that kind of launched us with the Pit Viper, which was the one that Flood and Alan Moulder kind of perpetuated through their user base, their very illustrious user base. The God Eater, which was our calling card at some point, and we have a brand new phaser with a dual LFO system and 8 stages that we got ready in time for Superbooth. So yeah.
Oh, so tell us a little bit about the synth then, because I think one of your concerns in designing this was affordability.
Yes. So, I mean, we come from India, and I kind of get it. Like, it's I've never been a Eurorack user myself. Prior to actually selling things internationally, it was my distribution that asked me to make pedals in Eurorack form factors and compatible with Eurorack levels. But for me, it was always kind of like I really liked the idea of picking up something and just being able to play it immediately. So, like a big personal hero would be like Tatsuya from Korg because he just kind of like reinvented the compact synth market and ecosystem actually. So that was a big thing. I love what Make Noise has done over the years, and we wanted to do something that was compact, but also kind of had our signature touch and didn't really fall into the synth tropes. So this is it's kind of like Shonjoy, who designed the oscillators, comes from Calcutta. We are from Bombay, so it's kind of east coast of India meets west coast of India. It's
So it's like
his,
the Buchla and Moog of India.
I guess, yeah. And in kind of keeping with that, we decided to kind of like use circuits that were kind of to some extent our own. Although I will say the discrete VCA that we're currently using is based on the Buchla 100 series, but we're probably going to change that for something that's a little faster because this synth was designed to be really aggressive. It's two wavetable oscillators, so it's kind of duophonic. They can be either summed or you can use one to audio rate modulate the other, but you're doing it within the Baron Samdi distortion circuit. So there's no filter, it's just wave shaping, and I don't know, it sounds a bit like this. That's kind of what it sounds like.
So pretty aggressive.
Yeah, it's aggressive, but it's also again like this is just the first one. This is literally the prototype that we got. This is a V0, and we were just so happy that it worked that we spent up to 4 hours before our flight, and like we were still building it before heading to the airport, and then we got here and we started building it again. So we were just so excited that we had a V0 prototype that was fully functional, and then we flashed the code, and here we are.
So do you know how soon it might be a finished product?
I would estimate about 3 to 6. I'd say about 3 to 4 months actually, because we're going to get, as soon as we get back, the key thing that we need to do is produce this enclosure. So once the die casting process is complete, I think we'll be good to roll out all of this. So I'd say between 3 and 6 months, everything that you see here will be on shelves.
Amazing. Well, great to see you, Aditya.
Thank you for
Thank you
stopping
very much
by.
for your time.